Now, the state's first witness, a Rexburg police detective, is testifying in Doomsday author Chad Daybell's murder trial. Opening statements wrapped up about an hour ago, and the Eastern Idaho man is accused of murder and conspiracy in the death of his late wife, Tammy Daybell, and his current wife's two children, Lori Vallow and Tylee Ryan. Let's go ahead and bring in Abby Davis, who is live outside the courthouse. Abby, walk us through what's been happening throughout the day.
Yeah, Brenda, they actually just broke for lunch, and that detective that you mentioned will take the stand again when they get back. As far as opening statements go, both sides really laid out a roadmap for jurors as to what they can expect throughout this trial. The prosecution started money, power, sex. That's how one of the prosecuting attorneys described the trial. The same words they used for Lori Vallow Daybell's trial last spring. She was found guilty on all counts. Much of the information was the same. Prosecuting attorney Rob Wood outlined how Chad and Lori met at a conference in 2018. Wood says Chad was obsessed with Lori's admiration for him. He says the two got rid of any obstacles that stood in the way of the life that they wanted, including Tammy, JJ, and Tylee. Wood briefly touched on their extreme religious beliefs and how they called the three zombies because they were, quote, dark spirits.
This narrative gave them the pretext to remove people from this world for their own good.
In his opening statement, defense attorney John Pryor placed the blame on Lori and her dead brother, Alex Cox. He says Chad had an unremarkable background with just a speeding ticket on his record before he met Lori. He also emphasized Chad and Tammy's decades-long marriage.
And then Lori Vallow comes in the picture, Miss Texas. You'll hear testimony about this beautiful, vivacious woman, very sexual person, and very manipulative. And she knows how to get what she wants.
Although law enforcement found the kids in Chad's backyard, Pryor says there is no DNA evidence of Chad on their bodies. He also claims there is no indication that Tammy's death was a homicide. He says Tammy was dealing with several health issues and refused to use traditional medicine. Pryor also says that he will call, or we will hear from some of Chad's kids, which we haven't heard from before. He also plans on calling several DNA and forensic experts. Of course, again, like I mentioned earlier, we're on a lunch break right now, but the judge does expect court will wrap up around 3:30 every single afternoon. And we know, Brenda, that this trial will last longer than Lori's, about 8 to 10 weeks, because the death penalty is on the table.
Yeah, what about evidence, Abby? What kind of evidence will be shown in this case?
Yeah, of course, Brenda, like Lori's, DNA evidence, digital evidence with geolocation information, of course, where people are and when they were there. Jurors will also read text messages between Chad and Lori, as well as hear video or watch video and hear audio recordings. And we also know, Brenda, that a lot of that will likely be very graphic, as it was with Lori's trial.
Yeah, and a lot of people really covering this as well. So thank you, Abby, for doing that. Well, we will be covering the trial daily. You can watch our coverage on all of our streaming platforms. And for everything related to the trial, text the word Daybell to 208-321-5614. That is also on your screen right now, and a link will be sent directly to your phone.